This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hello, Jason Glick. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Hey, John, it's like not much, but I guess, it's like this is kind of special. You know why?
Why?
Well, yeah, because it's like this is like the talking about the finale of one of like the manga series I've been following for a good long while now. One of like not just like a good manga series, a great manga series. Probably like the only godlike manga series we've got. Like the series that once Jesus comes back like to like save us all. He's gonna say like, "Holy shit, you guys read Prison School? This series is fucking great, man." Yes, that is the kind of praise that I want to heap on Prison School. It's a series that's like it's Jesus's favorite manga series because it is so gloriously, incredibly dumb and ridiculous that I love it. It's like it's the kind of series that 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 it's like that's like like if I had been reading this like when I was 15, I would love it just for like the fan service that it provides. But reading it when I'm like much older than 15 right now, it's like I can appreciate it because it's like the its creator mangaka Akira Hiramoto basically he's the kind of guy who I after reading this series, he's the kind of guy I think like looks at this kind of stuff and goes, you know what? It's like I really like boobs and butts. It's like I think they're the greatest thing that is like like the best thing that you can ever like put in like in a it's like in a manga series. But you know what? There's been so much like boobs and butts. It's like out there already. It's like I need to find new ways to show them. I need to find like different ways to show them. I need to like show them how great, show future generations how great they are like like just by finding new and interesting ways to like portray them on the page on it's like it's like on the printed page it's like at all it's like it's so yeah it's like this series is completely ridiculous and if you're gonna get into it, there's like a huge barrier of entry to it because you kind of like have to be in touch with your inner 15-year-old and your inner 15-year-old kind of has to be kind of like has to identify as male, like really, because it's like all that boobs and butt stuff. It's like, yeah, wow. It's like it's like Kuramoto wasn't kidding about his commitment to like finding new ways to show them in the series. But to get down to the basics of the series, Prison School is a story about a school that has decided to that was formerly made up only of girls, and and suddenly decided to integrate itself to becoming co-ed. Problem is that for its first like round of integration, only 5 boys like showed up for this. It's like they are Kiyoshi, who on one hand is ostensibly the most normal and level-headed of like the boys we'll see in this series, but that only means that he's just kind of like the guy who's going to be like the point man for all the relentless perversion that we see deployed. It's like over the course of the series, and then there's like Shingo, like who's like the blonde-haired like quasi delinquent who doesn't really who is just kind of like more clueless and not really kind of a delinquent at all. And there's Gact who eventually like who was initially meant to come off as the like four-eyed like ultra nerdy type character who was really into the Romance of the Three Kingdoms and like loves some finding like phrases like thine and dust. It's like whenever he's beaten by it's like by other characters in the series, which is a lot. And then there's Joe, who is like whose face is never truly seen over the course of the series, as he's like who's internally his face is internally engulfed in the shadow of a hoodie, and he's also got like all these mouth sores where he's just, like coughing up blood constantly, and he's also got like all these ants that he oversees because he's like big into ants. That's his thing. He likes like like talking about ants and stuff. And then there's Andre, is the who of all the characters is the most unrealistic of all of them, as he's just like really big guy who has a really small face and is kind of like and is also a gigantic masochist, which like helps bridge both the arcs of the series because when it comes to prison school, there are basically two main arcs to it because they're they basically like occupy the space from volumes one through five, and then volumes 5 through 13. Because it's also worth noting that Yen Press probably did the smart thing here and reprinted each volume of Prison School as a 2-in-1 omnibus. So even though there are only 14 volumes published in the U.S., that basically means it's a 28 volume series in Japan. And so what do these arcs consist of? Well, the first arc basically introduces us to the boys that I just mentioned, and how they run afoul of the Shadow Student Council. It's of the academy that they're at, because it turns out that these boys they want to get to know these girls, but these girls have been warned off them by the fact that it's like by the fact that they are it's like going these girls have been warned off interacting with them by because the Shadow Student Council has posted like notices notices over the school talking about how you interact with these boys, you're going to face our wrath. Well, turns out that after the boys are so frustrated by this, they decide, okay, we're going to go and spy on the girls in the in the bat while they're bathing. Well, that's basically their their last the last straw right there. So when these boys are caught, and that, mind you, it's basically Gak, Joe, Shingo, Joe, and Andre. Because Kiyoshi, well, he's not actually caught because he was actually in the girl's bathroom trying to get his phone back, and then he winds up talking to one of the girls there, Chio. But she's got her contacts out, so she doesn't actually know it's him. And it's what? It's and you think that sounds really dumb. Huh. That's kind of the fuel of prison school right here, because it is relentlessly, gloriously dumb. It's as these boys you'll find themselves put into a prison in the middle of the school by the Shadow Students Council for their crime of peeping, and they've got and then they've got to deal with the actual president Marty, who hates boys. Mako, her right hand woman, who's a ginormous a dominatrix type who whose boobs whose boobs and vagina are spilling out all over her her underwear, and Hana, who initially comes off as quite nice, but then immediately reveals herself to be a really really violent enforcer type. It's our guys are basically just at the Shadow Student Council's mercy. And they've got to figure out how are we going to deal with this. And well, because Kiyoshi is kind of our protagonist / point of view character, it's he basically winds up getting on the bad side of both Hana and also the good side of Chio. It's after he witnesses Hana having to pee in the middle of the forest, but this is after he's rescued some crows that earns him some crow chicks that earns him the good side of puts him on the good side of Chio. Kiyoshi is he I said he's kind of he's essentially meant to be kind of the good guy here, but he's also just a huge dork as well. He's the kind of guy who who wants to do the right thing, but at the same time he just constantly screws up along the way as well. But that's true of all his buddies as well. It's like Andre has his own like masochistic tendencies that he has to deal with. Gact has to deal with the fact that in order to facilitate their like their initial escape from this prison, he has to like shit himself like during computer class in order to get some necessary sound effects. And Joe, it's like he's got to deal with the fact that it's like the girls know that he's that they know how to manipulate his use of ants, his love of ants against him. And Shingo, well, it's like he wants to be like the one normal guy here, but even then, it's like they're working against him there. So the first 5 volumes of the series basically deal with like it's like the girls like trying to find a way to get the boys to incriminate themselves to get them expelled from the academy, but ultimately it's like the boys like find their own like dumb stupid way around that. It's like even when it like involves like like having Kyoshi, even when at one point it hinges on the fact that Kyoshi has to explain why he likes butts more than boobs, even though he's absolutely more of a boobs man than a butts man. So yeah, this is the kind of like series we're talking about here, like where like our protagonist has to explain why he likes boobs more than why he likes butts more than boobs. That's where we're going here. So and I think that like for like that that like for this like initial arc, it's just like our protagonist versus the Shadow Student Council. It's really solid. I think that Hiramoto does a great job of like pitting like these two factions against each other. It's like and like his real style here. It's like one thing he knows he nails really well here is the fact that he's able to like portray this stuff that's like really undeniably silly, it's like as being like like completely serious. It's like he's like it's ridiculous, but he portrays it in a deadly straight manner, and I think that's what really keeps Prison School going over the course of the series, over the course of its run. Just that idea that hey, like what they're doing here is really fucking goofy, but the mangaka knows to play it like completely straight because it's so much funnier that way. And even though like the following arc, which takes up the majority of the series, because after the boys find a way to show that the Shadow Student Council has been against them all this time, and they're able to get out of the prison. Well, it turns out that the actual student council, run by when Kate Takenomiya, well, she's got a gigantic axe to grind against President Mari, and now she's like looking to it's like like make the the actual student council made up by it's like eyebrowless wannabe sadist Risa, it's like and it's like Mitsuko, who is kind of like who is a series boob Goldberg in the sense that it's like a Rube Goldberg, but imagine it applied to fan service. It's like if there were like all these elaborate ridiculous scenarios applied to just showing girls like boobs and butts, but applied to her. It's like it's ridiculous, but it's like it falls completely within Hiramoto's modus operandi for just like showing us like just that kind of craziness. So, but the problem with this arc about the like everyone versus the regular student council is kind of twofold in the sense that Kate is presented as kind of like a like an antagonist who it's like kind of antagonist who like is given everything. It's like Pete. Like they like she's presented like as lording over the Shadow Student Council because of their actions, and she even like gets like the big boob sadist Mako to regress into the point into like a childlike persona, which is like the series, which is a huge drag on the series because it's like seeing Mako like reduced to the point of a child. It's like wow, it's like that's not funny. It's not endearing. It's not it's not entertaining at all, really. And even then, it's like when they think they found a way to get her back, when they think that, hey, like maybe carbonation does it. It's like, no, no, it does not. And it's like it's really contradictory to even the barest strains of logic the series tries to maintain. But Hiramoto does still manage to find lots of interesting, like goofy stuff over the course, to keep the series going, like through this arc, such as when Mari puts the moves on Kate and turns the series into a lesbian psychodrama. It's like in Volume 9, which I was not expecting to see, and was really surprised to see that it worked out, that the series worked as well as it did when it was played completely straight, pun intended. It's like as a straight drama. It's like after that though, it's like it gets even like even gets like goofy stuff like when Kiyoshi and Hana have to deal with their like underwear crises respectively. It's like that was a lot of fun seeing how Kiyoshi has to deal with wearing girls' underwear, and Hana has to deal with wearing men's, specifically Kiyoshi's underwear. It's like, and that was that was fun and weird and kind of it's like and gross and entertaining in its own way, especially with how Kiyoshi and Hana quote unquote deepen their relationship, because even though like Kiyoshi has this thing for Chiyo, Marty's sister, and she's presented as hey, I'm gonna be I want to be a man worthy of Chiyo's love, but all the really goofy stuff, actually romantic stuff, winds up happening with Hana, and and it's both kind of like awkward and gross and kind of weird. It's like, and even when Kyoshi has to man up, because even though he's wearing Hana's panties during the climactic shoulder battle, it's just like, wow, I can't believe I just read stuff like this. I mean, it's like it. It's like even though the versus arc against the regular shooting council has had its issues. It's like it's been there's always been stuff that's been really kind of entertaining. It's like to hold my attention and to just just be funny. It's like, really. So, but then you get to the final, it's like the final volumes. It's like, and volume 13, you see Gact just completely boff it, when he's just trying, he was forced to pick between his fellow Romance of the Three Kingdoms lover Mitsuko, and also Slut Senpai. Well, it's like he just kind of screws that up, because ultimately it's like the one of the big themes of the series is, of the series up to this point, is kind of that of it's identical to Beavis and Butthead in the sense that hey, they never scored. None of these characters ever scored. Even though they got really close to it, they never scored until we get to volume 14, because after Hiramoto wraps up the Shoulder Wars arc in the first half of volume 13, now we're left seeing him just pedal for time, in order to wrap things up in the final volume. And it's like this. Okay, so here we are with I guess the real thrust of this podcast, this final. It's this my thoughts on the final volume, because there are lots of threads going on here. I mean, you've got Gact, Joe, and Shingo teaming up with their would-be paramours, in order to get to the big barbecue roast, and then it's on their PBR sama, their big inflate their big plastic bottle inflatable craft, and then just completely failing as a result. And that's entertaining. But you've also got Andre finally recognizing that, hey, maybe Risa is my true my true dominatrix instead of Mako. And Mako and Kate trying to get to the airport that Marty is taking off of, because she's realized that, hey, there's nothing for me here. I'm just going to go and study abroad. It's like somewhere else. And then you've got Kiyoshi trying to get to the source of the BDQ before everyone else and failing miserably, thus allowing Hana to show up beforehand and tell her all about how she's been wearing Kiyoshi's underwear all this time, and it's like, and what that means. So as far as these various threads go, it's like like everyone like floating on down the river on the PBR. It's like, that was good for a laugh or two. Same with like Mako and Kate's attempts to try and meet with Marty before she leaves the country. So again, this is the bit where they realize that, oh my god, we've gone to the wrong airport. That was great. So there's good stuff here, but the real core crux of this, this volume is the drama between Kiyoshi, Chio, and Hana. It's like when especially when Kiyoshi has to deal with a really well-meaning cop who thinks that he's stealing a bike, but then realizes that he's not. Then offers to give him a ride to the BBQ pit, but then like waylays him by telling him all these like really meaningful stories about like hit romance, and giving him like this barley tea, which eventually when Kiyoshi gets there, realizes that, oh my god, I've been like, I have all this stuff I need to say to Chio, but I've really got to pee at the same time. And then when we finally realize that, oh, it's like Kiyoshi's like, well, like his well-meaning intentions to to confess to Chio, well, he does that. He pulls it off. It's like he managed to convince Chio that, yes, like, I like you and you like me. It's like, and we're gonna be together. And if you think that prison school is gonna end with like two characters ending in a wholesome like confessional, no, no, that's not gonna happen, because Hana completely loses it, and then she has the bright idea to reveal to Chio just like, what Kiyoshi has been hiding from her like all this time that he's been talking to her. So yeah, I think that the final volume, like, it's true to the spirit of the series, absolutely. The problem is that the final like wrap up of it. It's like when you get to like this, when you get to the final pages, like with Chio, it's like, and I can understand like why she winds up with this kind of mentality, and it's like and why she gets that kind of mindset. Okay, that makes sense. That works for Chio based on what I've seen. But then when you get to the final pages and the guys, it's like saying, hey, we're going to head to our wet t-shirt contest. That just kind of tells me that, oh, nope. It's like, it just kind of like the Turamoto just was kind of like, it was faced with like, I need to wrap things up in these last couple pages. Like, hey, bitches, I'm out. It's like, hope you enjoy it. I really wanted more, like, from these like last couple pages, like just to let us know, like, what was the fate that awaited everyone else, like, for this series. I mean, this, like, I'd been so invested in their struggles, like, as gloriously dumb as they were. Like, I just wanted just a couple more pages just talking about just what happened to each individual character. So yeah, I think the final volume 14, volumes 27 and 28 in the Japanese release are it's like they do work, but I was left wanting more. I was left like hoping, like, we get something like to tell us, like, what happened to all these characters, the rest of the characters. It's like it's like as they discover their own fates after this barbecue, after this misbegotten barbecue episode. So it's like so overall, it's like I mean, Prison School is I think it's absolutely entertaining because it's absolutely a cut above your it's like the kind of like cheap fan service stuff that comes out here and just basically says, hey, like here's girls' boobs, here's girls' butts. It's like and basically just like says, hey, like that's it. We're just gonna call it a day right here. But yes, a Prison School is kind of series that looks at that and goes, no, we want you to find new ways to show fan service. So you can find like really creative, like inventive ways, and it does. It's like it really delivers in that respect. And even though I know that there's going to be like people are going to look at Prison School and like go, hey, I like this is like trash. This is like garbage. This is like nothing but just like the male gaze like lingering over like what it wants to see about women forever. But it's like it's absolutely committed to that and knows what it wants to do, and it's determined to like displaying that in a way that's better than other series have done. So for that, I absolutely have to commend the series. It's like and it's like as like if you're like me, you think, and you're in touch with your inner 15-year-old, then yeah, it's like you're gonna think it's really funny as well. It's like there's an undeniable creativity and ambition to the series that even if it is just all about showing like boobs and butts in new interesting ways, it's like it absolutely succeeds in that. So to that I say, Prison School, I salute you. Well done, sir. So I'll look forward to seeing whatever Akira Hiramoto does in the future, whether it's a completely new series that eschews all this stuff, or if he wants to go back to his the Devil in Me blues, it's like series as well. Which hey, maybe you'll hear about that like come Memorial Day, or well, maybe not. We'll see how that goes. John, it's like if you're still there, it's like any thoughts on your end about all this?
Well, you said it was a cut above your
It
normal
is
fan service, and I think
absolutely
that pretty much sums it up. Hmm.
yes, that
Yeah.
is true.
Well, so definitely something to think about. But so yeah, that's a little recommend for you. And do you know what you're going to be talking about next week?
Oh, we're actually going to talk about another series that I've been looking forward to talking about like for a good long while now, and that is I Am a Hero. Like like the whole series rundown because hey, it's like we get to find out what happens to Japan when it succumbs to a zombie apocalypse. Well, it's like turns out Japan succumbs to a zombie apocalypse in its own special way.
All right, and we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
All right, laters.
Bye.